In this video, I'm going to take you through a full week of training, 80 miles in 1 week, training at altitude in the French Pyrenees. 2 workouts, 2 double runs, 2 gym sessions, and 1 18+ mile long run. How I fit all of this in, why I do the training that I do, and what it really looks like in practice. Let's get into it. Oh, and big thanks to Shopify for sponsoring today's video. Monday is always my shortest, easiest day of the week, unless I have a rest day, which obviously is easier than a short, easy run. And it's the day after my long run, so it makes sense to have a lower volume, lower intensity day to keep that variation in the plan, but also to let my legs recover so that I'm ready to do a workout on Tuesday. Happy Monday. Monday's a good day for running because, well, it's my easiest, shortest day of the week. So I'm gonna get changed, go and run about 6 miles, and then I have some strides to do on the track, and I'm gonna put spikes on for the last few strides. And I'm in a rush, so I'll explain about that later. Let's go run. Oh yeah. Neve, can you unlock the car? Alright, you're driving today, I'll get in this side. Okay. Just kidding, that's not a car. And we decided to run up at the track where it's relatively flat, but also for convenience of doing strides straight afterwards. And the routes are limited up there, so we did quite a few laps of the same field, a few laps of the track, and a little bit of ups and downs on the trails, but we got it done. We got a 6-mile route out of it, which is honestly impressive. Just a 6-mile recovery run, super chilled. I was running at 8:06 pace average, that's in miles, which is 5:02 minutes per kilometer. And my average heart rate was 133, solidly in my recovery zone. And every Monday, I'll do 5 to 6 miles and go straight into my strides afterwards. To start off with, I do 2 to 4 laps of what we call in and outs, which is jogging the bends and striding the straights. And these are just super chilled strides, just opening the legs up a little bit. I don't even bother timing them. They're probably sort of 17 to 18 seconds, so roughly at my kind of very controlled 400-meter rep pace. I think I did the 4-lap option of in and outs on Monday because I felt like I needed to just get into my stride and do quite a few of them to be ready to be able to put spikes on, which is what I did for the next few strides, which is 4 by 100 in spikes with a walk back recovery. So a little bit more intense, focusing on really good running form, getting up onto my toes and really running pretty fast, sort of 95% effort. Not quite a sprint, but close enough. And these ones I do time, and I got down to a 13.9 at the end, which I was pretty pleased with. That's fast for me. 7.65 miles for Monday from an easy run, a few strides, and a little bit of jogging afterwards. Day done. Now on Tuesday, it was a very special someone's birthday. So I treated her to the obligatory embarrassing birthday song and obviously porridge. Happy birthday to you. I brought you some porridge.
Already made.
And your laundry. I made it especially. And of course, it was workout day. So we headed on up to the track, and the workout in question today was a threshold sesh. And it was really nice because there was a group of us today. We all had similar sessions, all focusing on sort of threshold zones. So we adapted to make sure that we could all do the same session together and help each other out, which makes such a difference. So after a 3-mile warm up, a few drills and strides, we got into the session, which was 2 miles, 2 by 1 mile, 2 miles, and my coach said that if I was feeling good, I could add a couple extra on the end. And I just did the 1 because I felt really, really good in this session, but I didn't want to be greedy. It was my first big session up here, so I just wanted to be sensible and not overdo it, because if you overdo it at altitude, it's really hard to come back from. So it was me, Neve Brown, Neve Bridson Hubbard. I have to say their surnames because there's 2 Neve B's up here. Like, what are the chances? And Almi, so the 4 of us in that session, and we rotated. So in the 2 miles, we'd take 2 laps at the front and then head to the back and take it in turns, and the same in the 1 miles, which is just a really nice way to share the load, share the wind, share the work. You can relax a lot more when you're not at the front, but when you are at the front, you're kind of doing your bit to set the pace and do the work. And it was, yeah, really good vibes. Now at sea level, my threshold pace is 5:20 to 5:25 minute miling for a session like this. But because we're at altitude, we tweaked that a little bit. So instead of 5:20 to 5:25, we were looking more at sort of 5:30 to 5:38, which which is where we were in, probably in the slower region for this first session, which is absolutely fine. It felt like threshold, which is the most important thing. It was in the right zone. My heart rate data backed this up. It looked super controlled in that data as well, which is exactly how I felt. So yeah, great session all round. We totaled 7.1 miles, rounded off with a 3-mile cool down for 13.6 miles total for Tuesday morning. P.S. Big shout out to Ed for filming basically the whole track session and being an absolute legend. Wouldn't have any of this footage if it wasn't for Ed. Thank you. And as always, as soon as I'm done with the cool down, finish the session, it's straight onto rehydration, refueling, and replenishing everything that I've used up in that session. So protein shake down the hatch.
That is disgusting. That's so warm.
And Tuesday was my first double day of the week, so sesh out the way in the morning. In the afternoon, I had an easy run to do. And I actually felt pretty crappy on this run compared to in the morning, which is often the case, but 9 times out of 10, doing a shakeout in the evening when I've done a workout in the morning makes me feel better the next day. And I just did a super easy 30 minutes. I wasn't fussed about hitting a round number of 4 miles today because the double runs around here are so hilly, so that, 30 minutes is plenty. On Wednesday, it was time for a 10-mile easy run on my favorite trail, the Pyrenees 2000. This trail is my favorite route in Font-Romeu. I could run this every day and I would not get bored of it. There's a 9-mile loop. We add on a little bit to make it 10. It's hilly, but it's manageable and it's just beautiful. Look at those scenes. 10.2 miles, 1 hour and 16 minutes, average pace 7:31 minute miling, and a really good average heart rate again of 136, which just shows that I'm truly taking it easy. This is my easy pace, even though there's a few hills thrown in and we're recovering on this recovery run. Happy days. And I rounded off the run with chocolate milk. What more do you want? Honestly. After procrastinating for a good couple of hours, I went and got the gym done, which I had planned to do after my run, but I didn't bring spare clothes and I had to come home and get changed, which meant that I had to procrastinate and have lunch. The main thing is that we got it done. I was really looking forward to wearing my PB Run Club merch for this gym session today to, if nothing else, convince myself that I do in fact love the grind, even in the gym when I am sort of hating it in the moment. But I forgot to bring it with me, guys. I didn't bring the PB Run Club merch. And if you're not familiar, instead, here's some beautiful footage of Daniel modeling the merch. And can we just take a moment to appreciate how cool it is that we launched our own running merch? And if you missed the pre-order, which was a few weeks ago now, we're going to have a very small amount on the website in a few weeks' time when that all arrives, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I will say, whilst it's been really cool seeing this idea come to life and actually seeing people wear the tops, people tagging me in their photos, some people actually racing in their PB Run Club merch, let me tell you that before we got this all sorted and got our Shopify site up and running, we were a little bit scared. We had no idea how this was going to work out, and frankly we're pretty clueless on the website building front. Shopify is the sponsor of today's video, and they make it super easy to get started because they provide an all-in-one commerce platform for anyone, regardless of technical ability. They power businesses like ours and millions of other businesses across the world, so they kind of know their stuff. It was really fun seeing the orders tick in when we first launched. Every single time one of you placed an order, we get a little notification on the app with everything we needed to get the order sent out and on its way to you. And if any of you watching this have thought about launching your own business but held off from fear of just not knowing where to start, Shopify supports businesses across the whole journey, from first sale all the way to full scale. And you can get yourself a free trial by heading to shopify.co.uk/Phily. If that's not enough to convince you to give it a go, honestly, quitting my job and really committing to making content, creating this business, fully committing to my running dreams, the whole thing has literally changed my life. And if you've got a dream that could change your life, it's worth giving it a go. Thanks again to Shopify for sponsoring this week's video. Wednesday's gym exercises were as follows. Overhead press with a med ball. This is some rehab for my back. I do 2 sets of 12. Med ball push-ups, split stance trap bar deadlifts. This is to make my slightly cranky hips a little bit stronger. I did some lunges, step up to knee drives, Swiss ball hip hitch pushes, which are the devil's exercise. These are so hard, but they don't look that hard. The trick is to zoom into my face, okay? These are really hard. And there's so many technical pointers to make sure that you're doing them right. I hate them, but I'm gonna do them because they're gonna make me a stronger runner. We had a few sets of overhead pull-off presses in there, and then side plank dips into runner's knees. Also, the devil's work, okay? You do these basically until you're fatigued, and my glutes were screaming at the end of this. I was done. Thursday was an easy 9 miles, so you better bet I headed back to the Pyrenees loop because I love this run so much. It's my favorite. No Neve today, but still a really good group for this easy run. And guys, it snowed. I did think it was spring and that summer was just around the corner, but no, apparently not. I can't quite believe it, but the average pace, 7:31 minute miling. Exactly the same as Wednesday's run around this trail. Average heart rate, 135. So we won a whole 1 beat less. Fitness.
So it snowed. Kind of hoping there's going to be a bit of snow on the track. Not on the track, but on the infield, because that would look quite nice. But I'm a little bit nervous for this one, guys.
Snow had pretty much melted by the time we'd finished our warm-up, thanks to some heroic scraping from a few of the coaches up at the track, clearing lane 1 for us. These are the true heroes of our sport. I was on my own for this session today, which was 20 times 400 meters at 80 to 82 seconds, which sounds deceivingly easy. That is my threshold pace, but every fourth 400 was 4 to 5 seconds faster, and all of them were off a 100 meter float, which I had to complete in 27 to 30 seconds, which goes very quickly, let me tell you. That's roughly at 7-minute miling for that float period, and then you got to crack on into the next rep. Sadly, I don't have any footage of the session because I didn't have anyone up here to film for me today, and I really wanted to focus on having a good session rather than picking up the camera, moving it around and not focusing on my running in very limited recoveries, I will restate.
That was fun and hard. I think I definitely underestimated that session a little bit. I asked if I could go faster, and as usual, coach knows best. Didn't need to go faster, went a smidge faster, but yeah, I've never done a session like that before. It was tough, but it was fun. Like, surprisingly so on my own. Went by pretty quickly, just had to dodge a few people raking the snow out of lane 1 for the first half. It's all melted now. It's a fun one.
This is a completely new type of session for me. I've never done a session like this with such a short float with fairly short reps as well. And it was really good fun. The goal of this session, as described by my coach, was to kind of buffer that lactate. So in the 400s where it was very controlled, kind of 80 to 82 seconds, I felt very comfortable, but that float makes it a little bit more challenging. And then you've got to push for that fourth 400. Only a little bit. I was running, I think, between 75 to 77 seconds for those faster 400s. But what that meant was by the time you'd done a float after that and then went into the next 400, which again was back at 80 to 82 seconds, it felt a lot harder. And every time I went into the next rep after the faster one, I was thinking, oh God, have I overcooked this? Was that too fast? Am I going to be able to sustain this pace? And then gradually through the next 3 reps, I'd feel controlled again. And by the time I hit the 4th one, when it needed to be faster, I felt ready to go again, which was really fun. And it went surprisingly quickly for running just over 10K on the track. And very excitingly, when I got home, I found out that I got the Strava crown, joint with Izzy Bat-Doyle for the 10K segment of 25 laps on the track, which that's pretty cool. And once again, it's workout day, so I had a double in the evening, but I'm afraid to say, absolute disaster stations.
Well, it's post-sesh double time, and I forgot my watch because I went to put it on charge, which is really annoying, but it's only an easy run. So what I'm going to do is just put a timer on, or a stopwatch rather, on my phone for 30 minutes. And we're going to call it 4 miles because it will be roughly 4 miles. I'm going to go up and down this straight flat road here because I am over the hills today and I just need a nice flat run. Put my passcode into my phone and start my stopwatch. We're off.
The run without the watch was completely fine once I got used to not having a watch on my wrist. And this was followed by my second gym session of the week, which is normally on a Saturday, but I had a rest day this week and I didn't want to do my gym session on a non-running day because if you've got a rest day from running, it might as well be a full rest day. So instead, I turned my Friday double day into a triple day and I hit the gym after my double. And my second gym session of the week consisted of half squats to box, single leg box jumps, modified single leg hip thrusts, which are harder than they look, some Swiss ball hamstring curls, the devil's work once again with those plank dips to high knees. I hate this exercise, but am I gonna do it to become a stronger runner? Yes, yes I am. I went on the leg press with the split stance, which is pretty much single leg press. And then I did some hanging marches, and then these weird side plank pull thingies that are a new exercise, and I really didn't feel like I was doing them right, but I soldiered on. And Saturday was a rest day, so please enjoy this footage of me living my rest life. And on Sunday, I had a pretty exciting and rather challenging long run. It's Sunday, it's London Marathon Day, and well, I'm doing something a little bit rogue. I should have got out the door 13 minutes ago. It's 13 minutes past 8. I'm running door to door today on my own for my Sunday long run, which is 17 to 18 miles long. So that's gonna be fun. Why am I doing this? Well, like I said, it's London Marathon Day. And the rest of the gang said that they were gonna try and start running at 9 to be able to see maybe the last 20-25 minutes of the women's race by the time they finish, but I'm a big fan of this distance. London Marathon Day is just one of those fun days where I just want to be sat on the sofa watching the whole race. And I'm not gonna just watch the last 25 minutes, because what if I miss a move? Guys, I need to see all of the action. So I'm gonna take my phone with me to make sure I'm safe. I'm gonna be running up an absolute stinker of a hill for the first 2 miles, and then down till I get to the Pyrenees Trail, where I'll do the 9-mile loop and then run back. And I might need to add on a little bit, but it's gonna be hilly. Great start. Thanks guys for not telling me. Forgot my sunglasses. Okay, we have sunglasses. I've just lost another 5 minutes of the marathon. God damn it. It was pretty cold leaving a little bit earlier, but enjoyable all the same. And I just was feeling it. I was enjoying my own company today. Sometimes you need a run in your own company, just with your own thoughts.
Just me and the lonely road, folks. Got this whole road to myself. Loving the downhill. It's gonna come back and bite me.
It did. The downhill was lovely. The Pyrenees loop, lovely. Actually, it was really dead as well. I didn't see another soul for that whole run. Very peaceful, very enjoyable. And then I started the climb to come back up. And it was also windy in my face. How's about we just look at this elevation graph to just display how hard it was. Bear in mind I'm at altitude as well, so hills are harder, cause less oxygen. Was I questioning life choices on the way back? Yeah, I was a little bit. But here we are. It was brutal. 4 miles uphill is no joke, but is it great character building for strength of the mind, not giving up and walking for any of that hill? Yes. Yes, it is. I'm very proud of myself. I toughed it out. We love the grind, baby. And when I saw that Font Romeu sign at the top of the last hill, let me tell you the relief I felt.
I made it! Run the downhill, baby.
And I rounded off the day watching the London Marathon, feeling very smug that I'd finished my run in time to watch pretty much the whole of the elite women's race, and felt very inspired by the performances. And I'm very much looking forward to one day towing the streets of that iconic race. 80 miles for the week. That was week 2 in the mountains, training for my next race, which is a 10K. At the night of the 10K PBs, I will add, in May. If you are in London, or even in the UK, you should be there. It is an absolute festival of running. I would love it if you guys came to support me. It's in the evening on the 18th of May, and it's completely free to attend, and it's an absolute party. It's the best track event you can attend, period. Love the grind.